It's Wednesday, 9 p.m. This is the Whatnot podcast where we put the what into Whatnot. And tonight we have a special guest, one third of the Maybe I Said Too Much podcast, Mr. Mike Laffey.
Ho, everybody. Yes. Actually, can I just say that your intro was amazing for like a quarter of it. So,
Which quarter?
and I'm also, I also can't tell you how much I miss that intro song.
It's been a long time since I've heard that intro song live.
It's not my fault. So, Mr. Joel Crawford was supposed to be here. He just sent me a thing that his Windows computer is 91%.
All right.
So
you didn't want to answer the phone?
I'm sitting on a Mac right now, so I don't have that problem.
Nice.
So this is not an advertisement for that.
Don't sit on it. They're not that durable.
Can we make it weird real quick? Let's call Joel. Let's just see.
Let's see what he's doing.
I know you guys probably have an agenda and all, but far be it for me to just take over.
It's all in pencil, so it doesn't matter.
There's no way you have pencil. Hello. Hey, you're on speaker on the podcast. I figured since
it's your podcast.
Since you were supposed to be the actual guest and I was just brought in as second fiddle, I thought I'd, bring you in.
Well, and that is the exact order.
Okay, right? Well, no cussing, by the way. You're they're listening.
No, listen, you don't have to tell me. I'm a man of excellent taste.
Utmost principle.
That's right.
By the way, it's fitting that this is what's happening right now. This makes more sense than otherwise.
Well, it's because I'm having to deal with my PC, and my PC is, I don't know, cursed. I was working right along this morning, and then it just froze up and died 1,000 deaths.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do a lot of talking until you can get here, which fortunately I have the ability to do. So.
Yeah.
Anytime you can come, though, and help me carry some of this water, that'd be fantastic.
Listen.
Because the pre-show, these guys said nothing. It's the strangest thing. We literally were staring at each other.
Mm-hmm. I crap in one hand and wish in the other. Those up first.
All right. Well, hey, we'll see you in a little bit.
I'll see what I can do. I'll jerry rig a cup with a string on it.
Hopefully that'll work. We'll talk to you in a little while.
See you,
bye.
And there you go, live on location via phone, Joel bringing the weather and traffic report.
It's even better is this is why you guys can never do a podcast. Windows.
Yes. Again, I have a lot of computers here, so they're mostly Mac. Is what it seems like. But
well, good evening, everyone.
Am I supposed to talk? I don't know. Like this is,
yeah.
I'm not. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm not really sure where I'm at.
Well,
I was told to put on a tank top and
show up
and be here. So
I think Wim says it best.
Oh, okay. Are we doing that? Because I could be that guy.
We need to be that guy for a minute.
I'm gonna start crying. Like the nostalgia is gonna hit me in ways that I wasn't ready for.
Since October 2nd of 2020, Mike, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what's this show called?
Maybe we don't know the name.
Maybe we haven't said enough. So, this is definitely a podcast. Oh, Wim's just mad because we asked him to be the third once, and he said no.
He said, there we go.
He said, I'm too ugly to be on any video podcast. We were like, stop talking about yourself that way, Wim. It's just not fair. Because you are ugly and it's hard to look at you. But I mean, that you don't want to say that, right? Like you don't put that out there publicly.
Well, you'd be perfect for this podcast then. I mean, look at the two guys on top. I mean, hey, maybe we should have you on our podcast and then, make the other guys jealous.
Yeah. Well, hey, Chris, I'm not, listen, I don't want to make this weird, but Ziegler, he's got a look, right? Like he's got like he looks like a drummer in a band you never hired, but he's got that thing going. So
yeah, and I'm like the before photo of the guy that like went to some weight loss clinic and had his whole face rearranged and surgically repaired. I'm the before.
No, you're a handsome guy. This there's enough beating on men. We don't need to do it amongst
No,
ourselves.
no.
So
So we
except
got
for
that out of
Wim.
the way.
Wim is not a handsome man. So
So sorry, Wim. Oh,
no one's sorry. Wim knows.
no, he knows. Welcome to the Mike Laffey support group. Yeah, that's.
I love that guy. He's actually one of my favorite people I don't like. So
Well, at least he made the list.
It's a
I'm
pretty
gonna have to
important list.
do a million messages after this with apologies, just nonstop. It's gonna be sorry.
You're just gonna copy and paste, aren't you?
I shouldn't have started drinking before we did this.
Oh, yeah, that Diet Coke, it'll get to you.
There's a there is a post-it note that says "Don't swear," sitting right in front of me.
You haven't used that for something else yet?
I've bitten through my inner cheek so many times at this point.
We're only like 5 minutes in. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry.
So
okay, I guess.
listen.
what's
I'll
going on?
pretend. I'll pretend I'm quiet.
Oh,
So
okay, good.
ask away.
Well, no, I mean, with everything that happened in 2020 and then get into 21. So you're in the mortgage business, and I'm guessing that the majority of your time was spent with the house boom.
Yeah. So I'll tell you. I'll give you the short version. I basically took over a large part of the mortgage division I was working for, sort of just because it was time for me to be in charge. Kind of like I did with the podcast when we used to have one. And I can say that because no one else showed up on time. So can you do middle fingers? Or is that?
No, go for it.
Okay, no. So and making trays. Thanks, Wim.
Yeah,
Love
got to
you.
bring up the trays.
I am the tray man. Listen. You don't hide from who you are. Okay.
There you go.
The creator makes us all one way.
Especially when you introduce a laser, it's still a tray.
Oh, you can stop now with your forked tongue. And so yeah, basically, I make way less money for a lot more responsibility, and just kind of trying to survive the day, for whatever that's worth. So
Sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I mean, listen, the last couple of years has been rough on everybody. We've all had to sort of redefine what our lives are and look like, and I think for some people, it's given us an opportunity to, kind of figure out what's important to us because some of the external stuff has been taken away forcibly, right? So we get a chance to say, okay, these are the things that matter because it's too much effort to go find the things that don't. And I think some of us have been, and I don't include myself in this, but I think that there's people that have, after they've taken off some of the external stuff that was sort of, bolt on, they sort of realize that all of that superfluous stuff was just, it's not who they wanted to be. It's not who they were. And they are realizing that they kind of needed that, and who they are, they're not comfortable being. So, and there's a lot of anxiety and just all kinds of nonsense around all that. So it's just been a really tough adjustment period for a lot of people. So there's, I'm an idiot. I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin and who I am. And it's just because I'm too stupid to know otherwise. So I've been less affected than most, and I feel fortunate for that. So, for whatever that's worth, right?
That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, that's the whole reason we started the podcast is that Chris and I would always talk about woodworking and makers and stuff like that at work. And then, when you're not there face to face, it was like, well, what do we do in the meantime? So it's kind of the whole reason we started. It was just to be able to talk about the stuff we'd seen, stuff that's going on socially, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of evolved into this. So,
well, and when we used to meet regularly, I used to say with a lot of sincerity, I think it's important for, if you have a friend and you have an internet connection, you should probably have a podcast. Even before, I mean, that was long before, whatever pandemic hit. There's a lot of information that a lot of really interesting people have. And I can say, we spent a lot of time with you guys over at Klingspor for a while. And there's a lot of really interesting, really good people there, and you get a couple of you guys on and you start talking about nonsense that you know about and care about. Somebody's going to want to listen, and I don't know anybody that wants to listen. But I mean, there's people out there that probably do. So, you know,
Well, we're going to
All
tell them
said.
whether they want to hear it or not. So
Yeah.
that's just the way that
so
works.
I mean, if anybody that listened to our show for any length of time, you know, it's like the Seinfeld of internet radio. Like, we didn't really talk about anything, but, you know, it's just an opportunity to plug in, and your friends kind of come along for the ride, and they get an opportunity to listen to, you know, sort of what you're up to. And some people relate to what you say, some people don't. You know, you guys talk a little bit more about the actual craft of what happens. We didn't, you know, so it was like, and anytime we went down that path, it was foreign to people, you know. So it was like, okay, hey, let's talk about I don't know, let's talk about Joel, and, you know, he works with CNC machines all day long in a production environment, right? Like, that's or Izzy, you know, he's got a YouTube channel that's wildly successful, and he builds dinosaurs out of plywood. Like, you know, that type of stuff wasn't as important to people as just, you know, hey, I woke up this morning and stubbed my toe and thought, why does this always happen to me? You know, and it was just like, you know, you're like, what? You never know what's going to resonate with people. So just get together and put it out there. You know,
And
that was
see
kind
what
of
happens.
that was kind of the thing. Like, yeah, very few people operate a 5 foot by 10 foot CNC machine, but everybody stubbed their toe this year, you know? So
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the how important is you have a friend part, he's, you know, asking for somebody else. You know, the one person who couldn't make it to their own podcast. I'm just going to say this.
Uh-oh. Ooh! Shut up!
Hi,
Where'd
guys.
you get this guy?
You know, just like you, I just asked. Said, what's it going to hurt?
I asked him to come on mine, and he said no. The fact that you got him to show up kind of hurts my feelings just a little bit.
Well, you did have him for quite a few episodes. It's not fair.
Izzy, how are you, my friend?
I am hanging in there.
Yeah, you
How's
are.
things over there?
I'd complain, but nobody would listen.
That's what
You
we're
know,
here for.
I get the same effect.
How you been, brother? I mean, I'll pretend like we don't talk pretty frequently, but yeah, it's hey, buddy. It's
Yeah,
a long
right.
time.
Things are good. I unfortunately am coming into the new year with a hefty case of COVID, so I've been dealing with that. But hopefully we're at the getting towards the part where it starts getting better.
You just put a little alcohol on it. That's all it takes. So
I keep telling Maggie I need more whiskey. She just doesn't agree. So
And don't share
Well-
your microphone with anybody. That's for sure.
yeah,
you shouldn't take medical advice from a part-time podcaster. So
Right.
don't listen to me.
I don't know. Would you consider it part-time at this point?
I never said how part-time I was going to be. I mean, to be fair.
So that's a yes, Mike.
Yeah,
That's a
one every
yes,
like
yeah.
4 years, still part-time, right? Like it's not the 36-hour a week rule, I don't think. So
No.
I just
Well-
thanks for coming, seriously, because I mean, you know, having a bad bout of COVID, I didn't have my hopes up. Mike told me not to. He said, "Yeah, don't get your hopes up."
I said, don't talk to Izzy. He doesn't like you.
Yeah, that's
No.
that's actually what he said. And he was just like, "Yeah, just don't bother. He doesn't return your calls if you haven't noticed."
This is starting to look like the Brady Bunch up here.
Wow,
We need
that
a
is
couple
not
more
true.
people.
No, it's not true, but we can say it anyway. That's what
Right.
jokes are, Izzy. You make exaggerations on things that everybody knows you're full of crap about.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh boy, we got
So-
fangirling going on over here.
Izzy.
All kinds
So-
of comments. So this is
We're,
where we actually drop viewers. Thank you, Izzy. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Right on. It happens when I show up.
Izzy, you got all kinds of production stuff going on over there these days. I see every time I turn on Instagram, you're making something new that you're selling to the masses. How's the world treating you over there?
Good. Just
Yeah?
busy. We've been trying to do a lot of different things here.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to start selling your own line of fish tanks or something crazy. Like you're just always
No,
like,
no
what's
fish
the next
tanks.
thing you're working on?
Maybe mushroom growing chambers at some point if we can get past some of the logistics of that. But
Yeah. How's the mushroom thing going?
great.
How do you think you got
We're-
COVID?
Yeah.
He took a fistful of them and started wandering off into the woods.
No,
Chasing
I
dragons.
kind of went down the rabbit hole on the whole mushroom thing, especially some of the more like lion's mane and some of the reishi and some of the other that have health properties, a lot of good health properties. and I designed a growing chamber that we've been having a lot of success with. We're right now on our 4th month of testing the chamber, and as of right now, I think we could probably do about $36,000 a month in retail value of mushrooms in our little 4x8 chamber.
Wow.
Just with the growing setup that we've kind of, I'd love to claim credit for the whole thing, but it's just taken a lot of ideas from different places and kind of shoving them into one package, and it's been working really good. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of that, and we just released our vacuum templates. So we're kind of soft release. We really haven't told a lot of people out there in the public that we're doing just a couple little posts.
Well, only about 13 people are going to hear on this show, so you're probably fine.
You're broadcasting to the thousands.
Yeah. So
Yeah, every time I get on Instagram, I see Izzy in it. We're going to take a look at the mushrooms today. I'm like, holy cow, how many mushrooms does this guy have?
Yeah. After this podcast, there's going to be the DEA is going to show up, start asking questions.
I wish they would show up at my house instead of flying over my house all the time. I'm like, just because the power bill went from $400 a month to $2,000 a month doesn't really mean that there's any reason they shouldn't just.
Hey guys,
just stop
in.
Just stop in. I'll show you guys around.
Yeah.
Come on, quit wasting the fuel.
I got some tea for you. I'll show you butterflies in your hands.
I'll send you home with some lion's mane mushrooms. They taste great and they're really good for you. So.
By the way, I just want to say everybody's drinking something, and I'm drinking through a straw. Did you notice that there's no way to be masculine drinking through a straw?
That's not
Never.
possible.
Mm-mm.
No, there's no
Oh,
go ahead,
Chris wants to show off his little straw.
Well, he sees blocking his face, like
That's
Mike,
how you.
when you're
That's how you're
drinking,
masculine.
when you're picking up that bottle, you got this your shoulder flexes, and you've got this kind of and I'm just over here like.
I'm drinking sparkling water. I don't know if that's
Can't hide money.
At least it's not out of a straw.
Hide money. Look at this guy. It's
My
like,
water
man, they put
sparkles right
bubbles-
out of the tap, man.
They put bubbles in my water. Look, I ain't got time.
Now I feel bad. Mine's just a refill from the fridge.
I like how you put it in the Dasani
Dasani
bottle. Though.
Yeah. Got to make sure that I throw this in there every once in a while. Yeah. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. I dig that.
What have you guys been up to? It's been a long time. Mike,
Nope.
you out there? You making any trays or cutting boards?
It's always the trays. I'm a woodworker, dang it.
Yeah, well,
I'm actually not a woodworker. I haven't made a thing in I don't know how long at this point. So I bought a laser engraver, because reasons. It's kind of I actually my analogy, like a lot of guys will go out and get like the new PlayStation 5, right, and then they lock themselves in their whatever bedroom and they stay there for 7 months at a time. And I'm like, I don't want to get good at whatever the new game is. I'd rather like learn how to work with a laser, right? So I'd rather spend $400 on that than on some stupid game console that I'll never use a year from now. So I've been farting around with that stuff and just, it's a lot of fun. It literally burns things. It gives you this weird sense of power. like you're controlling some crazy science experiment. Like, it's like, I hit this button and a laser turns on, and I understand why Joel was so excited by that. Mm-hmm. For, when he got one, he was like, hey, you got a laser, and he was just making all this stupid, like burning pencils and stuff. And like, I made fun of him for a year and a half and now I'm in doing it. So like, I'm that
and
guy.
Now you're burning pencils and stuff.
Yeah. I'm just like, I go to the store. I'm like, hey, these are flat pencils. We could buy these by the 1,000, right? Yeah. Okay. And it's like, everybody's getting a pencil this year that, what's it say? I don't care. Just something. So,
right.
Yeah, so that's I've just been doing a lot of work and not spending anywhere enough time in my hobbies, and I pray for death pretty much weekly. So if anybody wants to come and rescue me, I'm here.
With 1,000 trays that need to be burned.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm everything's been pretty good for the most part.
Good. That's good. Lauren says that you just built a porch, you idiot.
Hey, Lauren.
For somebody else. That's not me. So, yeah, no, all in all, I can't really complain. There's been a lot of people that have had a really rough time for the last 2 years. I am not one of them. So, a lot of people have been told they can't work. They got to figure out other means of doing things. They've got, riddled with anxiety because they don't know how to function, in a solitary environment. everybody's routines have been upended, and mine hasn't been. My routine was sit down at your computer and do a lot of work until you hate yourself, and I still am able to do that.
So you looked out.
Yeah, I'm lucky in an unfortunate way.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So, but
Well, look at it like this. Now you can spend time lasering for rectal use only stickers.
true. Are we allowed to say that word? I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not sure.
it's a medical term, rectal.
I'm not sure what's being censored. Well, there's a lot of medical terms that I've been censored for. So you never smarter than the YouTube channel you're on, apparently. So
Yeah. So Izzy, so I asked Laffey not to cuss just to see what would happen.
Oh,
So he's got
you're
to
doing
stick.
great,
He's got
Mike. You're doing good, buddy.
Yeah. So if you see smoke coming out of his
Sending
ears,
you a
it's because
virtual
he's
handhold
trying
right now,
really,
man.
really hard.
if you see me doing this a lot, it's because I'm vomiting in my mouth just repeatedly. It's having to swallow it down. It's been really hard for me. So, yeah, it's
Can I see the Post-it note? I'm just curious.
no,
No, I
'cause
can't.
it
It has
a
cussing
swear
all
word
over
on
it, doesn't it?
I wrote down all the words I wouldn't say today. It's more like the Constitution than a Post-it note. I actually can't even see you guys on the computer screen right now. It covers it in its entirety.
It's a large Post-it note.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's more like toilet paper with glue on the back is really kind of what it is. So
Oh, you had some of that. That's good.
I listen. You can't hide money. So he's not the only one.
There you go. Figured you would have gotten a new curtain by now.
No, absolutely not. I love this curtain. You kidding
I
me?
know.
I actually pulled this over just so you could see it. I wanted to see who'd noticed.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I have a real background, unlike some of us here. So, I'm not pointing fingers.
Well, you have a nice wall. I don't have a wall.
I
I'm in
have a
small
wall
room.
that's at this point basically almost the color of my skin. Like this, literally headphones and a tank top is all the only thing that you can see here at this point. So
Yeah, if you don't have the shadow there, it would blend in a little bit better.
it's I'm working with the lighting I have.
So what? You don't think this is a real background? You don't think I'm sitting in my shop right now?
No, of course you are. Let's not be crazy.
Okay.
Well, it
Just
is his
making sure.
shop, though. Got to give him credit on that. He actually took a picture of his shop and then put it as background. That's a good question. Does it match the drapes?
I can't answer that.
Nor do we want to see that.
Well, I don't know that that's true, but I said that I wouldn't, be that guy today. So
Yeah.
I won't be that guy today.
I love the fact that this was Joel's original podcast. We asked him to be on. And what are we into it now? Almost 20 minutes. And
Does anybody even miss him? I mean, let's just be honest. Has anybody thought of something that they really wanted Joel to answer at this point, and he just wasn't here for?
We did say 2/3 of you guys would be here. So
Nay,
I swear his ears were burning.
Don't even start with
there he
that
is.
thirds crap. You got maybe
Ladies
and
gentlemen,
you got maybe a quarter on the screen right now.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to maybe. I've said too much.
The reunion edition.
We are joined by Mike Ziegler.
Yeah. Whoever these other two guys are, we should just remove ourselves for a little while.
Mike
let you
and
guys
Chris,
take
if
over.
you could drop off, that'd be better for everybody.
Yeah, here, we'll-
Oh, I just got sweaty. I don't know why.
I'm sure this has been covered. How you feeling?
Still pretty rough, but hopefully we're getting towards the back end of it.
Yeah, it's kind of
Ooh, back end. We can say that. That's not a
Yep.
caution.
It's not on your Post-it note. You're good.
That is definitely not on my post-it.
I'm sure there are synonyms of that.
I
that might
think,
be.
Mike, you might better put that one on your Post-it note.
Let me just
you got a lot of post-it notes going. I see.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground, Joel, while you were not here for your podcast.
So Mike can't swear. So what else does he know?
This has been, it's
A learning
I feel like
experience.
I feel like I'm running on a treadmill over here.
Yeah.
So
I'm on my backup machine. So I apologize for my angle. This is the
great, and he's lagging.
this beard angle.
I like the beard. I can almost smell dinner from this angle.
Yeah, It sounds a lot like regret and
Am I the only one without facial hair? I just realized that.
Yes. Yeah, you are.
Well, you've got enough of it for all of us, Mike, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I'm here for you.
And Chris just looks like he
Yeah,
woke
we
up
know.
and said,
Yeah,
No
we
Shave
all know.
November went into January for him.
yeah. Mike, Chris went, for the last like 2 years, but he still grows a beard like a 12-year-old.
Yes.
So
it's almost like it went south for the winter.
It's called erosion. It eroded from here.
But you're so adorable. Like
And
that.
Pat's
Anybody
down
that's
there.
met you in person knows
Listen.
you're the most huggable guy that looks like you ever.
In 10 years,
That's a
the bathrooms will even be cold.
It's like listening to Mad Max or something.
No, he says it
Hey, hello, baby.
sounds like Max Hedrum.
Oh, is it bad?
Yeah, that's what a Max said.
You've got some skipping going. I don't know if you're on an LP. Maybe you can put a quarter on the needle. That would be better.
Hold the phone.
Hey, hey, it's okay to show up 27 minutes late. Not be prepared.
Hold the phone.
Hey guys, this is Joel.
It's actually quite. It's funny how it is funny. Actually,
It's
I don't even know what
apropos.
to say. I'm crying over here. I'm laughing so hard.
And it's like
This is bringing back all kinds of really fun memories.
the whole top row. The cameras are like level, and then
I
the
gotta
bottom
go-
row, it's like you got one high, one low. It's great.
Well, Izzy's camera's mounted in the rafters, so he can just in case.
Yep. I have it sitting on top of my center screen, and way up there.
Well, I've actually been to Izzy's shop and looked over his technology, and I'm willing to bet all the money in the world that it's evolved very little in the last when was I over there? 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
How has it
Yeah.
been 3 years since I've been to visit you?
You live like an
I'm
hour
not
and a
sure.
half.
I'm not sure which one of us is a bad friend.
We're just gonna go with you.
Yeah, I should own that.
So
I need to come
It's your
down there and
fault.
see you.
I don't. Everybody knows that I don't leave my shop unless unless there's horses and chains being pulled away.
Are you still using the workbench? Is the question.
Every single day? Yeah,
So I'm there.
yeah.
Even
The
though I'm
technology here, though, Mike, might surprise you.
I watch you online.
So we've upgraded a whole lot of stuffs.
All right. Well, I need to make a trip, so I'm going to need an invite.
Yeah, I need to buy a 4K camera. I just recently beefed up my whole system so I could edit in 4K. I still haven't bought the 4K camera.
Well, it's good that you've done that because that technology is almost obsolete at this point. So
Right. It takes me a few years to catch up. That's how I work.
you switching out the
But-
720s.
But I do have a giant plasma cutter, and now we've got a nice laser, and we've got the CNCs. So, I mean, the technology's definitely there. I feel like that was a brag. I didn't mean it to be a brag.
No,
No, it's not,
boast.
no.
We want to hear it.
Yeah, no. It's whenever you're upgrading equipment, that means you're getting ready for something big. That's what I've always seen.
Yeah, we're gonna launch something in. I'm hoping in about 3 months. That's gonna it's gonna rock the socks off of a couple of companies out there. Let's just put it that way.
Uh-oh.
Cool.
By the way, everyone listening is going to have to sign a non-disclosure agreement by the time we're finished with this.
No, I'm not. I'm not. That's as far as
I'll
I'm
get you
going.
to talk. You're on all that. You're on all that medication for all the.
Oh boy,
cooties.
am I! I didn't know there were that many things that you could take at one time. Maggie,
Can you say
I
rectally?
love her to death, but I swear
Is
to
that a word?
God, every 5 minutes she shows up with like a handful with 10
And-
giant horse pills in it, and
and
says,
right
"Here,
up
take
the-
these."
Right up the bum they go. Is that?
So, not yet.
Not yet. No, he hasn't gotten
If
there.
this goes on for any longer, it might
No.
have to be that way.
She's not a good nurse, and you can tell her I said so.
It's all that San
Oh.
Pellegrino.
We're gonna get some action here. This is my son coming through.
How we doing?
What's up, son? Wow, that actually works in that context. So, Joel, hey, nice of you to join us. 30 minutes in.
Is this any better?
There, yeah.
Ah.
I hope it isn't.
No, it isn't.
All right, Joe. We've heard what Mike's been up to. Where the heck have you been up to?
I'm in retirement. I've given up.
Nope, it's not better.
That's all right. We'll go with it.
Oh,
Just
is it
go.
really
I
not
love it.
better? Okay.
No, it's that.
It's better.
Do yourself a favor. Tonight, after we're done with the podcast, swing by Blockbuster and get an updated AOL disk and load it up into your Windows PC, and make sure your connection, you're getting that 96K baud that everybody's screaming about these days.
Is
So-
it
Wow.
possible? I'm just blowing out the mic.
I think that could be it because it sounds a little bit better when you're further away.
So like I just turned down the mic a little better.
This is awesome.
Nothing. I quit. I just this.
Awesome. Here's the funny part is this, like I threw on like a gaming headset, and because I can't find any of I know where my microphones and stuff are, but like all the peripherals, they're somewhere. This is so Joel's sitting over there, and I remember what this is like when you're trying to like do a show and everything won't work, and you're just like.
Remember when I was in Michigan and nothing ever worked right?
Oh, that was fantastic. Those are our favorite shows. I think those are some of the 7 that we just lost.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, we recorded a great show 4 hours ago, and we've been trying to re-record it. So you're getting a 14-minute podcast tonight, and don't cry about it.
Right.
So,
Well, that was a long time ago too.
that has been 4 or 5 years ago at this point, wasn't it? How long ago were you in
5.
Michigan?
4, 5, 3.5, 4. I guess it would have been 4.
We actually had a
2000
drinking game for that. Every time Izzy said UP,
2017?
you take a shot.
Was it 2017 or 2018 I left Michigan? Maybe 2018.
The Hot Wheel
Yeah.
was cool, though.
The Hot Wheel was cool.
The Hot Wheel was real cool.
That was
So how
those
long-
are pre-COVID days.
Yeah,
Oh.
back when we could see each other in person, like in an extravaganza.
Can I just say, like, I don't want to get us taken offline, but I haven't done anything different before or after. Like I haven't stopped going out. I haven't stopped doing things. I haven't stopped meeting people. I still go to the office every day. Like I'm that guy. Like I've just not cared. I can't stay in the house all day. I'm too kinetic. Like my entire family will shoot me in the face if I was here for 8 hours. Like they just, they're like, yeah, you should probably go. Go is better for you.
Yeah, go to the
We think
office.
you should risk it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, if you get it, just stay out. Like don't
Yeah.
come back. That's fine. It's just, you can sleep in the office. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm that guy. I don't know if that makes me evil or terrible or what, but and I
You're that guy.
apologize to everybody.
It's
for
funny. It's
being
funny
that guy.
that you say that, but I kind of the same thing for me. Not a lot's changed. I pretty much don't leave the house anyway, ever. So yeah, about the same.
Yeah, I don't know to care. I guess is sort of I pretend it's happening to somebody else. It just seems to be the way I get through it all. Which,
it's not
So-
my problem.
It was really bad. Was it the first summer? My wife and I was last not 21, but in 20, my wife and I tried to go on a small little vacation, and everything was closed. I mean, normally on a road trip, you can hit a fast food restaurant and run in and use the bathroom and then be back on the road. No, they wouldn't let you in. So trying to find a bathroom was just quite fun because we were like you. We just kept going, and so it was just made it interesting when everybody else was shutting down and not available, and you were trying to live your life.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not
Well,
convenient.
and like that makes sense because when this whole thing happened, like you go back to March 2020, like everybody thought that 10% of the population was just going to die. You know what I mean? Like it was just like no one knew it was going to happen, right? It was just terrifying, and then as it started to go on, you're like, well, yeah, we've lost some people, but it's not as bad as everybody thought. And I was just like, I can't stay in the house. Like that's just I can't. I'm just not that guy. I'm just sorry. I can't, and I apologize to as many people as I can, but it's just not built that way.
And you didn't come in here.
I visited you during all of the stuff.
That one time.
That one time.
The candles were.
I moved a entire oak tree for you. And that wasn't enough. Like
That's true.
By the way,
True.
I've never visited Joel where there wasn't a to-do list. That's never happened.
There's-
Every time
there's-
I go to see him, there is tractors and chainsaws, and he's like, "Oh, you're coming by? Well, I got a project." And I'm like, "Okay, like a project for Joel is never like I've been working on this 1,000-piece puzzle, and
Yeah, it's called homeownership.
I'm 690 pieces through it, and maybe you could help me with the end." No, hey, I've got 2 40-foot trees that fell down in the front yard. Maybe you could help me cut those up and move the pieces. And I'm like, yeah, sure. See you Thursday.
What is? I had the tractor. I didn't make it lift them
I lifted a lot of it.
by our own choice. Like you win like whole Macho Man Randy Savage. You're like, "Ah!"
Well-
and then you're gonna, you start flinging in chainsaws.
When you said Randy Savage, did anybody else think that sounds exactly like the announcer?
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing is that, you learned very quickly what Izzy learned when I went to stay with him is that I don't have a stop. Like if we're doing something, we just go. Like there's no, I think actually you got more tired driving a tractor than I got doing all of the actual work. So,
What? And
I don't do
to
cocaine.
To be fair, I will tell you that when you're hauling around giant trees on a tiny tractor with a grapple, there's a certain amount of tucking of one's personal belongings as possible, and it wears on the soul after a while. There's no know how to tell it. You're on a tractor that is designed, I think, from Japan. Definition, they would like to roll Americans over on their side with little pieces of machine on top of them.
Joel,
And, they're just there's not a flat. Mike can tell you there's not a flat piece land my property. Everything is going up one side or down there.
that's true.
it's definitely
So
up
it's
one
always
side or
it's
down
a
the
challenge.
other.
Joel, will you
don't
please
have
say,
never had
let's
an
get
option.
ready to rumble?
And there's a certain amount, like you have to know that, like if you play D&D, and I'm sure you in this group play D, there's a character that fight and magic use, and they do things and they come up with plans and stuff. They're berserk that you just throw in, and at the end of the day, it does what it is, and you can't shut it down.
Yes.
Did I lose you?
No, we're here.
Of course. I did.
Joel.
I have to, yeah. Izzy's got a question for you, Joel.
Can you say, let's get ready to rumble, please?
I think that's trademarked. This is going to cost money.
Oh, it's going to be totally worth it if they can get that trademark figured out with this.
How wonderful would it be if the Whatnot podcast got sued for trademark infringement on Michael Buffer?
Bring it.
How much did you that? Nothing, right? Yeah. Nothing. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Oh, no, for once, it actually sounds right.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh wait, don't leave. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I give a whole analogy thing about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm good.
Yeah, actually, we could hear it, though. It's just the way that it came across. You can't duplicate this on any kind of software.
It was amazing.
It's amazing.
Joe, when you play this back, I know that you're frustrated now and you want to throw babies into fires, but it is one of my favorite things. Like and I've been where you are, because how many times have we done a show and I'm like, well, let's see, what's the word? Dang it. Why is none of this working? I don't know what to do different, and but it's fantastic in every way that could be.
I'm very, very excited here. I'm sorry that I'm not clear.
You're actually very clear, and
Yeah.
the compressor's working wonderfully. Your voice sounds very, very natural. It's just there's a skip in what you're saying. So
Man,
what's happening?
It's assume that's
You're showing me your junk.
That is not
My
the
bad.
view we wanted.
Sorry, Dad. I forgot there was a damn camera on this. Jesus, it's 2 years since I've done any of this crap.
No, listen. We need to start doing this again. There's no doubt in my mind we need to start doing.
I
this
was
again.
going to announce the fact the band wasn't back together there, and I wasn't even going to consult. I was just going to.
You're just gonna schedule it.
I was
like,
just going to schedule it. Be like, hey, we have a cast Wednesday
hey,
at 9.
the new maybe I've said too much is starting Tuesday.
Yeah, I was just going to wait like somebody to show up. It was just going to be me staring intently at the camera.
I'll be there. You
honestly,
schedule it, and I will be there.
If you did a 20-minute dialogue sounding like that, I promise you, people would tune in.
I would
I
want
would listen to
Shakespeare.
you read the menu at Applebee's right now. Like that is this is nothing.
You have to tell me when it turns on because I don't be the only one left outside joke.
You won't be when you watch the playback.
Here's the thing. To be fair, we're not leaving you outside of the joke. We're
No.
completely telling you what's happening. It's just, it's fantastic.
I
Like-
feel like I've added a lot to this conversation.
You've
I
added.
really hope you're not upset right now. Because
Oh, no,
that
no,
would
not
bother me.
No, I'm upset because my computer took a dump and it's literally on the 18th hour of fixing this.
No,
But-
listen.
But that isn't your Mike. Your fault.
I love you, and that nothing else matters. This feels exactly right, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
Do they
This-
else have duck sauce and soy sauce at their desk?
Yes.
Well, you know, it's
Wait,
funny. I
hold
was
on.
looking at what I had, and I have, for whatever reason, needle nose vice grips.
I have Dykes.
Oh, good.
Hey, I don't think you can say
Is
that.
It's not on his list. He's okay.
That's not on the.
And
I'm
I
gonna
keep
add that
all
to my
kinds of
post-it.
Anybody seen my
Hold
desk?
on. Let me
knows
just real quick. Let's see. Don't do that one. I
Yeah.
can scratch off this
Now,
one. That's
wait
a
a
medical
minute.
term.
Izzy's
Hang
got what is in the one hand? What is in your left hand?
Caliper collet?
Calipers.
That's a countersink.
Oh, countersink.
Oh,
Oh,
It's a
wait a minute.
countersink with a stop collar on it.
Now
Is that the
this
Amana?
technically is not bad, but I'm sure I'll get criticized. I have balls. So
Are those relaxation balls?
That must be your wife's.
Are
I
they the
can-
ones? Do they sing when you? They have that bell in them that make the
Ooh.
sound.
So I have balls in my hand, and I don't know that you can't say that because technically it's true.
and they come in a box.
Who's down?
Oh, somebody just said I need expectorant in the comment section.
Did they need to be measured?
I am expectoranted out. I've heard Maggie
is
say that word
expectorant?
600 times in the last week. Here's an expectorant.
Can someone tell me what expectorant is?
It's your snot be gone stuff.
Oh, because expectorant sounds like something.
That's on your list.
Oh,
I think I
Damn
got
it.
it once
There
in the
we go again.
90s. Penicillin it.
I can't expectorant either. Hang on, I can take this. This is medical though, so we can take that one. Okay,
That's true.
we're good. So I have to know, like when you guys, Mike and Chris, when you said, "Hey, let's get these 3 clowns back together," what was on your
What the
mind?
hell were you thinking?
Weird part was it was like 9:30 in the morning on Monday, and I'm like, I wonder. First I asked Joel to make sure because it was his podcast. You know, we asked him to come on and just talk. What about what's going on? Sorry, I can't even talk now because I got snot everywhere. I'm laughing so hard. And then I said, would it be okay with Laffey if he came, if he's available? He said, yeah, sure, it's fine. And so then
That's
Laffey,
not it at all what I said.
yeah, no, he said something along those lines.
I
No.
need to hear the whole story.
No,
around
I
that,
said
please.
I said Laffey who.
That's you probably said exactly that. You hurtful, terrible person.
You know, we all have to have me.
Again, you're one of my favorite people in the world. I don't know why you hate me so much.
It's not that I hate you. It's that I love you.
You're not
Learn
wrong.
from your past relationships, Mike.
You're not wrong. So then you reached out to me, and then I had to go through a list of apologies before I even got on.
Oh, okay.
Mike was like, I hope I'm not making a terrible mistake, but do you mind being on our show? I was like,
Yeah,
Sure.
I said I came up with this idea while I was sober, and if I was drunk, that would make a lot more sense. But I was like, so if you're free Wednesday, Then you were like 9 p.m. You hesitated.
Not at all. I said, I will be there, sir. If you need me, you have blown into the conch, and I will show up.
And
So
he was there early.
I was.
He was there early.
I'm not saying anything, but
I'm still barely here.
it reminds me of my my podcasting days when these other two would show up whenever they felt like it. And so-
Izzy's face like, well, yeah, it's kind of how that worked.
He's not
yeah,
lying.
Izzy's like, he's not wrong.
There was a time when we would have to Izzy at 15-minute increments, 2 hour out, be like, hey, we're doing a thing at 7:30, and it was like 4:30, and then at 4:45, and at 5, and eventually be like, oh, right, that's tonight.
Yeah. No, and we're texting him the whole time, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, dude, I laid down for a nap."
There was the nap episode where all this like, and Izzy, and then there's nothing.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Those are good times. But you got together, Izzy. I mean, there wasn't like we rhythm down. It was definitely in the beginning were the times where show both had technical issues and we had mental issues, and it was a culmination of a lot of learning and growing on our listeners' part, because they literally had talking funny again.
No, you said I'm talking funny again. Our
But-
listener, there was low learning and growing on our listeners' part. Was what you just
Oh,
said.
there was a
That's what you
lot.
said.
There was a lot of grace and forgiveness from our listeners.
Well, and to be fair, our sponsors, the mighty people over at Klingspor. I can't tell you how many times Mike sent me a message. Go, hey, got great show, great show. The conversation about well, hang on, let me see. It's not on my list. The conversation about the. Okay, so I can't say what we talked about that time, but the conversation about that thing, maybe don't talk about us right after that. Maybe, so it'd be better if mentioned right after some terrible thing you just mentioned.
By the way, today's show is sponsored by.
Yeah. Hey guys, did you ever get your junk caught in an air vise? Sponsored by Klingspor. And he's just like,
I was gonna do slideys this time.
No, we always do Klingspor. So
Oh, sorry. Yeah, good call.
I missed terribly. The one thing that this whole pandemic has taken away from me that I am just I yearn for like a lost friend was the stupid conventions and the dumb parties and the nonsensical October Apple based get-togethers where we had an opportunity to just get together and hang out without an agenda, and 90% of the time was sitting around going, what the hell are we doing here? And it was just like 10% of the time was just magical, and the rest of it was just perfectly just nothing, and that was I remember not long ago Joel shot me in the neck with a cheese ball that I had to bring back up to him. That I actually got
That will never die.
that sucked a lot. So that was so, but just like that,
Now,
like having
picture
the
this.
parties at Joel's house where
Hold
we
on,
were.
hold on. Picture it's 2018, maybe 19. The grown man with a mall or stain on his neck, who's weeping openly, questioning whether or not that I have betrayed him, and the fact was I betrayed him, and it was a moment in time. It was a beautiful betrayal between friends, and he will bring it up at every social occasion.
Well, yeah, I mean,
for the
here's the
next
thing.
2020.
I mean, if we can really put that moment in a way.
I think I did.
I
I think I minimized it as much as it deserved.
No, yeah, I think you're downplaying that. But I am a type of person where when I'm wrong, my immediate response is, "Who dies now?" So and I looked over at Joel, and his immediate look on his face was, it basically was, please don't punch me. Like, that was the first thing that I saw when I looked at him, and I was like, oh, my friend is afraid of what's going to happen to him now, and I don't want to be that person. So I was like, yes, this hurts a lot, and it's going to leave a really big mark, and everyone around me is laughing at me right now, which, you don't want to be that guy, as Joel knows from his podcast right now, because everybody around him is laughing, going, why do you sound this way? Except he doesn't have any welts on his neck. So, you're like, okay, I got shot in the neck with something. I don't know what it is, cheese ball, I think. And he gave me this look like, don't kill me. And all I could say was, like, that's it. And
he did give me kind of an exasperated, like the, I normally beat people in the head.
yeah,
I'm not sure
if
what
you
to
were
do next.
another human being, you'd be begging for your life 5 minutes ago.
And it's funny, that look wasn't the look. I literally in my head going, oops, I did it again.
He was like, oh my God, he's going to kill me. Like, that was the way he looked. And the only thing he could say was, I meant to put it on the lower setting. Like, that was just the only thing. But I miss those moments, like having that. And, I know Joel doesn't miss the, people showing up at his house and getting so drunk they can't stand, and, they throw up in his garbage cans and stuff.
No. First off, I still have a garbage can and that has white jelly logo on it now.
Oh,
it is a 55-gallon barrel that has KY jelly stenciled on it expertly. I might mention to Wes. And no, I never had a problem hosting events here. It's one of the main reasons why we got this property. So SKU 21. So but yeah, no, we always had fun here, and we have fun at Cling Spores Extravaganza, and at the I think there was a certain time, I don't know if it's on, but there was certain, there was a bell curve of, why are you smiling?
What are you looking at me for?
Can I hear you?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just gonna keep talking. Screw you guys. The bell curve, that kind of thing happened.
You said bell curve. I'm listening. Why am I having to deal with your insecurity?
My audio goes dropping out. It was fun. It would, and I think we probably do it again. It's gonna take kind of routine people to get to know those things. The last event that I went to was DiResta, Richard DiResta party in the woods of New York.
The Maker Camp.
Yeah, which was, I mean, honestly, just a cool laid back kind of like campfire all day, all night of event. And it was super chill and had a lot of fun. And I would completely do them just because there was no expectations. People put up anvils and brought up lathes, and eventually you ended up an axe handle and an axe. Like that was, woohoo, we're done. But in between that, a lot of bourbon campfires and a lot of people telling stories about what they do and who they've met and who's inspiring to them and all the cool things make end up doing when they get together and talk about the things they're passionate about. And that's literally the reason why I'm part of the community.
The second show I ever went to, Izzy and I drank like half a bottle of Southern Comfort together, which,
Yes.
I'm actually surprised he got the virus, because, I think that's the cure for everything pretty much at this point. So, yeah,
they use as disinfectant.
Yeah, I miss the the community online. I mean, social media has become such a cesspool over the last couple of years because people don't have anything else to do, so they don't have any outlets for anything. So I've really kind of stepped away from it just for my own mental health, because I was getting to the point where I'm like, everything I read all day is bad. There's very little fun out in the world anymore. I can't go anywhere and see anything, and the place that I used to hang out with my friends online is just a complete disaster. So I stepped away from social media. I still post in the groups from time to time, and I kind of stalk people just to see what they're up to on like Instagram and stuff. But that communal aspect of like looking forward to the March show or looking forward to the October show, or I'm going to Cary to play pool with a bunch of guys that, I don't know. Like that, that's like those type of things were a lot more meaningful than I gave them credit for at the time. And I think that we all took all of that for granted in a way that is really kind of heavy. It was just, it didn't mean anything for Mike to call you up and go, "Hey man, we're doing a thing. You guys want to show up?" And we're like, "Yeah, we'll pay for our own hotel rooms because you're the worst sponsors ever." So, like we'd go and do all that stuff, and we'd have a great time. Like it was, and by the way, they paid for our hotel rooms. I'm just giving them a hard time. But like we
You
took
got
for
a hotel room?
granted, they paid for mine, Joel. I
Yeah,
didn't
we
wanna
paid for
tell you.
it. Sorry, Joel.
Hey, there's there can only be there's only so much talent money that goes around.
I
So.
don't know. Truck stop was nice. I got a lot of offers. I didn't
You
have one
did.
place to sleep.
You did. Hey, you didn't even know they had bunk beds in those trucks. So
I
let's
wasn't
be
all
fair.
the big spoon, but then
So yeah, I miss that stuff. I miss it terribly. That was I remember, and Joel, we've talked about this on our show, and Izzy. I don't know that Izzy had this experience because Izzy was kind of the person that we fangirled about. I'm sure he's had it, but he's never really sort of talked about it. But the first time we had one of those maker meetups, we met in your garage, or not your garage, but your shop at the time in Georgia. And I met Izzy for the first time, and it was shocking how Izzy he was. Like I expected somebody who was a personality and who was just way larger than life. You couldn't walk up to that guy and talk to him, and he wrapped his arms around me. He's like, "Oh my God, you're Laffey." And I was just like, "Oh my God, you're Izzy." It's just, I've been watching you for 2 years on the internet. Like, you build dinosaurs from plywood. Like it was just, and like I met Andy Berkey that year for the first time, and that was that's like meeting God. Like you're just like, Berkey's, I mean, he's as close to royalty as anybody has, and for no other reason, he's just one of the coolest humans ever. You get to hug Lutz. You get to meet the Jim from Illinois. I mean, like all these random guys that you've talked to on the internet for all these years. You're like, oh my God, that's a person. And when you first finally meet somebody like Izzy, and you're like, this is a guy. Like he's just a dude like me, and I've idolized him for all this time. And you're like, and here he is, and he wants to hug me, and we're having a drink together, and we're taking pictures, and we're being stupid, and he's not bigger than the rest of the world. He's just this dude, and it was such an awesome moment. And then to replicate that year over year, and then we talked about this after we've been doing the podcast for a while. How many people just drove to come see us? And we were on the other side of that. Like we had all these guys at one of the Klingspor things that we went to, and all these random people are walking up to me going, "Dude, you're Laffey?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh my God, I drove from Asheville to meet you." And I'm like, "Meet me? Are you out of your mind?" Like it was just, and I'm thinking, I'm like, "You're an idiot. Like this is, I'm a dummy that talks and says dumb things." And then I remember thinking, like, I remember being this guy walking up to Izzy and just being like, "God, I hope he's cool. God, I hope and he was so cool. And I'm like, am I this cool to these people? Like, are they meeting me and they're disappointed? And it was just this really weird dynamic. And, in that type of stuff, and just, and being able to, the first time I met Jimmy, and, he gave me an ice pick. Like, I mean, that's surreal. I mean, I've got pictures that I look back on from time to time, and I'm like, I can't believe this happened. And Izzy's asking me, "Come to my shop. Let's build a workbench." And, we're going to see you, Joe. We built this big, Spartan we're going to throw axes at. And it's, like all that stuff is kind of just been lost for the last couple of years. And it's so, if you stop and think about it, like it's depressing that you don't have it anymore. And it's depressing that you took it for granted so much when you did. It was like, we had all these cool people that were just right there. It's like, and not even people who are like super famous in our community. I mean, you take guys like, look at Mike Mike and a bunch of the other guys that come down from, just random dudes, like guys that, work on lasers and bowls and stuff in their shop. Like they're just like, oh my God, like all these guys are just cool and they're nice to have around, and you can just reach out and touch them and talk to them. And, they're friendly and awesome, and they want to get to know you. And that type of stuff that we took it for granted as much as we did is it makes you want it back more. You know, I want to go to Izzy's shop and hang out with him and, you know, build weird crap and go to Georgia and hang out with you and have all these people come in from these communities and have the Klingspor guys come down and, you know, beat some of these dudes in pool. Like, you know, you want all that stuff back again. And and we normalized it and we took it for granted. And I hope as things start to open up and we start to kind of come back together as a community, as we move forward, that we really take the time to know how precious that stuff is and how precious it was. And, you know, how do we just not take that stuff for granted anymore? Because it matters now that it's not here, and it didn't matter when it was, you know, and I hope that's never the case for us moving forward. So
Well said.
It was well said. I'm going to say that Wim said it best. In my mind, here's what I'm thinking is that there's so many opportunities like 2016 Atlanta. I really wanted to go. I really wanted to be there for that.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, I'll just wait till next year. And it seems like every year after that at those woodworking shows, they don't have an Atlanta or they're canceling it. It seemed like they kept pushing Atlanta away. And it was like, did I miss the only opportunity? So
Well,
looking at it that way, as far as, you know, take advantage of that situation when it comes up, don't let it pass you by.
Well, and I just posted a meme to our group the other day and said I was online probably taking a Duke, you know, going through Instagram one day, and I just, or, you know, whatever social media platform, I'd probably TikTok more than likely because it's the only thing I'm on. But it was just like, if you ever have an opportunity to meet your friends, you know, your online friends, do it. Just, you know, don't ask why. Just just do it. And I remember thinking like that was me. I wrestled with, you know, do I go to Georgia and do I meet these guys and what the hell is this, you know, even it's a 4.5 hour drive to hang out in a convention center and, you know, outside of Atlanta, who cares, you know? And like people were superstars that were just normal people. And that was the coolest aspect of the whole thing is there was no big personality. Jimmy DeRista's in our community is one of the biggest there is, you know, I mean, it's just, and he's the coolest guy you've ever met. We called him up one day and we're like, hey man, you want to do our show? Izzy can't make it tonight. He's like, yeah, give me 10 minutes. Like, give me 10 minutes. Like, yeah, he's like, and then, you know, he's like, I got 30 minutes and, you know, we could do it. And we talked to him for an hour. We're like, hey man, you know, I want to be respectful for your time. He's like, yeah, man, we're good. Just keep going. We're
Like an hour
okay.
and a half, and like he wouldn't. We're like, hey, you know, I know you gotta go, but he's like, we're good. Keep going.
Yeah, and by the
All
way, like, and hey, by the way, like we're doing a show with Izzy. Like it's not like we got some second-rate person that we were normally doing the show with that, you know, we happened to stumble like we traded Izzy Swan for Jimmy DeRista. Like that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like this
you
guy
traded up.
Not even. I mean, you can say that because you're being humble, but I mean, you've met Jimmy. You guys are, you know, you're the same caliber human being.
Oh,
and
Jimmy's
you're both fantastic.
I consider Jimmy a very close friend. He's a good cat. They don't
He's
come
a
much
great
better.
guy. Great guy. I mean,
we've all had very good experiences, but it's and even those who have had notoriety in the YouTube channels and the followers that follow them, there's something certainly special about that. And I was in awe every time I met somebody admired or learned from or did, you know, both educated and entertained. But you know what? At a certain point, you get. You end up having these conversations at these meetups. We're just sitting around a bonfire, or you're sitting around having a glass of beer at a bar after the extravaganza, right? And you're just talking folks like, oh yeah, I do some wood painting and stuff like this. And they pull out their or whatever, and they start showing you things that they've created, even though they're not the people that you're gonna watch YouTube, or they don't have a YouTube channel. They go, you know, I made this, and I made that. I'm like, that's amazing. You know, how long did that take you? Oh, it took me about 3 weeks. And I'm in my day brain is going 3 weeks. Jesus Christ. I don't think I could do anything for 3 weeks. This guy's a Superman. You know, he's with away at this, you know, thing. And you look at it and you have these conversations between this guy who nobody knows about, right? And you have the same conversations with like Jimmy DeRista or Bob Duke or anybody else in the maker community that has that notoriety from their effort because they're doing the thing, and then they're videoing it, and then they're editing it, and then they're doing all the things that to interact with people. They kind of put that cream cheese icing on already amazing set. But it's the same people, right? Like there's no huge difference between a dude that likes to go in his garage and turn a bowl of some walnut Earl, and the dude that is up on scaffolding filming. He's putting this live edge slab as a window, right? So it's just very cool. They're the same people. So if you ever feel nervous about coming up to study in a convention or something like that, they are you. Like they have the same drive and patterns, have the ability to create things only because they failed so many times before, and that's the thing that kind of anchors us all together, because nobody's picked up a thing and did a thing well. Like somewhere there's a statue buried many feet down somewhere of Michelangelo's like third thing, and it's probably just a giant shape.
There's
like,
I was gonna say he's carved somebody's junk and had to bury it in the
that's good,
backyard.
man, I appreciate it, but it's like a bread roller. So anyway, just there's a certain point that you get.
Why are you stopping?
I think I'll just let it for a while.
I was laughing at the joke. You're so insecure. I can't deal with you anymore. Right, he's texting me right now. I can tell.
I think he muted himself on that one.
Jumped off a bridge. Yeah, no, I mean to Joel's point, it's the people that they spent the time like failing all those times, and Michelangelo's bread roll. I can't even.
Hey, listen, I was trying to, I only have so many words I use. I took away a bunch.
No, I get it. No, you're. I would say, listen, when things open back up for all the people that have made excuses for why they can't get to the next thing, I can tell you that when you're there, there's a lot of like awkward standing around, like hey, you're so, and then you like don't have anything to say following that. But just wait, like something really cool is going to happen, and you're going to be glad that you were there. So, it's that I miss it. So. And by the way, if we ever do another podcast, we have to get Wim.
What do you mean if we do another podcast? I'm telling you, it's scheduled.
All right, I get it.
Whether or not you show up for it will be whether or not I have a solo debut album.
I'm only going to show if you have whatever skipping software you've employed for tonight included.
So what ends up happening is. It's double for me because not only is it skipping for you, but I lose your audio on my end, so I can't know when it happens.
Does that help, Eddie?
I only know what happens because I start giggling. Well, I can't hear it. I said to go.
I'm just glad there was a lot of comments that I could read and go through, because I was sitting here biting my lips so hard not to laugh.
Oh, you're killing me. It's stupid.
It's I mean, here's the thing, Joe.
How do you deal with PCs?
You're going to listen to this at some point.
I never listen to stuff.
And I listen to all of ours. I actually, that's how I start my day. My the Alexa goes off and it just starts playing. So and I'm like, oh, there's the sound of my voice. And I have it so she's got YouTube muted out, so I just hear me talking only, because let's be honest. So
I wish that was a joke.
It's not a joke. You've heard it. I call you when it's playing. So I've actually started a second channel where it's just Mike's audio only. It's only about 14 minutes shorter per episode, by the way.
Right.
So,
But my headphones are really loud.
Well, the good thing is, Joel, if you do watch this back, you'll be able to skip the first 30 minutes.
That's true.
You weren't there.
and every third of a second while you're talking. So, but I don't know. Hey, this is your show. I'm just.
Oh no, this totally turned into Joel's show. I have to say.
He stole all the thunder.
I feel like there's a sign of punishment for being late. That was gifted to me.
You've owned it.
I have owned it.
He certainly has.
He's sitting there. He's like, I got a bed with COVID for this. Like this.
Yeah. No, this was great. It was a lot of fun listening to you guys chat it up.
Well, I'm glad you could join us for the laugh for sure, because you could be a part of it.
The only part that's missing is he playing some type of like Angry Birds on his phone while we're in the middle of a podcast.
That's not untrue.
It's not
no, it wasn't Angry Birds. It was like those like
Golf
naval
Rival.
battle games.
Golf Rival.
It
was
was
Golf
Izzy half
Rival.
the time. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're like, Izzy, tell me about your YouTube channel. He's like, yep, 750,000 subscribers. You're like, Izzy? So what you working on? I got the CNC machine. We're kind of. Dang it! What's wrong? Don't worry about it. We got You guys, hey, do you guys know how to buy coins from the Apple Store?
That is not true. I'm an Android guy.
I don't know. This thing doesn't seem to be working. I don't know what's going on. So, hey, when are we starting the podcast? You're like, hey, Izzy, we started 40 minutes ago. He's like, oh, okay, sorry. So, can you see the banner behind me? That's all I need. We're good here, right? It's just.
Yeah, it's here. It's there. Let's see here. So Joel, I do have to ask for a let's get ready to rumble in your most announcer type voice. No, not Skippy. No, just your most announcer type voice.
You want to let's get rumble?
I'm gonna pee myself.
Wait,
Please do it.
Wait, is my audio clear this time?
Yes.
No.
I hold on.
No, it's perfectly clear.
Okay, I'm recording, Joel. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Can I get is there any echo on this? There's a little echo now, right?
Just a little.
Little
Keep
echo.
doing it.
It's
Come
perfect.
on, give it to us.
Why am I
I said
doing
an
this?
hour ago.
For all the gold coins.
Wait, hold on.
The funny part is Joel has about $6,000 worth of audio equipment in that shop right
And
now.
it's complete
And
crap.
none of it works. I've got a
Complete
gaming headset on and a laptop propped up on like a Tupperware box. And he's
By the way,
struggling.
I pulled out my mixer, and I kid you not, since we don't use it anymore. Mike quit. There's a layer of dust on it. It's absolute. Like it came out of some old antique shop. No kidding. Probably should better care of things.
Well,
No,
let Izzy know when
just
you're ready.
don't
He
worry
wants
about
to film this.
He wants to film it.
Yeah. He's got his camera ready.
It'll be
He's
on
playing-
YouTube.
He's playing Angry Birds again.
Is
I
he?
am not. It's Golf Rival. Damn it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let's get ready to rumble.
That's awesome.
I can't. Joel, you have to play this back. I'll Venmo you $1,000. I just need you need to watch this. And you need to record yourself while you're doing it. I don't care what it costs. I'll have my company expense it.
I know what's going to make it into the intro of the Whatnot podcast from now on, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God. I want royalties.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh yeah, you missed the intro. We added a little special spice for you guys. A little,
Yeah,
maybe I said too much.
Hey, you can skip
interruption.
75% of that intro when you watch.
Yeah, there's only a quarter of it that's worth anything.
You weren't here for this when I said it, but the nostalgia wave that rolled over me, hearing our intro music,
Right.
I was like,
Here, hold on a second here. I got tools. I got stuff. Let me see if I can bring
You
up
do
just
got
that part.
tools. Are you gonna play it right now? Because I'm gonna
Yeah.
cry until I throw up.
Yeah, actually, I can add it and then skip over to it.
You are so. Why do you have a pirate in your?
It was one of the canned things.
We have to add some skipping to it.
Well, that's amazing.
So yeah, that was.
Okay, you have too much time on you, first of all, but that was really worth it.
Oh no, that didn't take any time at all. I've gotten better at it, so therefore that was something that I could do for myself. That really was to add that music, to hear it live again. Yeah, I'll take that time.
Yeah, that when I sent it to him, I was like, "Hey," I said, "Hey, do you want our music for the intro?" He goes, "Dude, send that to me."
He's like, "All right, hold on, let me find it."
I was like, "Yeah, I gotta dig that out. I don't even know where it is." So
I don't even know if I have a copy anymore.
no, you should. It's on the drive. So
Yeah.
It's probably on your computer.
What was the name of the what was the little robot? The
the Windows file.
We've already discussed it. It's Max Headstrom.
No, Headrum, but
Yeah, that one too.
yeah, but it could be. No, the little robot dude that 70s, 80s, he'd stutter on every word, but it wasn't Headrum. I was live and watching Max Headrum back then.
What are you? I don't know who you're talking about, and it's going to bother me because I think I know who you're talking about.
Google.
You're not. It's not Johnny Five from the. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? By the way, how did that guy get away with making that movie? Why hasn't he been canceled yet?
It's a good question.
We ask the tough questions on your show.
Yes, you do.
And
Yeah.
the difference
By the
is you get no answers.
Yeah, you're probably canceled after this. I imagine. There's no way this
Well,
keeps up. Right?
I can't wait
Joke's
to see
on
the
you. We were pretty much canceled
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, you did bring all 5 of your viewers, and we appreciate that.
Hey, they are strong and powerful.
Yes,
So
they are.
they've been here the whole time. You're sitting there thinking right now, like, what does Wim do that he has this kind of time? Like
That's what I was thinking. But at the same time, I'm really interested to see these subtitles after the fact because there's a layer of dub duck.
It's true. By the way, Paul Jackman, is it weird to know that because when we used to do our show, like he'd show up for these things, and you're like, I mean, I've met the guy and he's an absolutely lovely person, but he seems like he's got stuff to do, and like he's watching our shows and stuff, and I'm like, this is what's wrong with you, and this is why you rip pallet wood into octagons and make walls out of it because that's you're lovely in ways that are weird.
Yes.
So
he spends like 75 days,
Okay.
whittling giant leg out of 7,000 coasters glued together. So it's like he's got time. Like at some point it must be he might go numb, which is why he's probably run through everything and now is listening to us.
I feel like he could be sanding pallet wood right now, like because like watching his last show
probably is.
I'm like that's a lot of rinse and repeat. This poor guy.
Hey, I got to ask a question real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, Laffey.
Please.
Is it you're yawning? Are you going to hang in there?
I'm gonna call it, guys.
How long is this show, by the way?
Whenever.
I mean, I know Joe's only been
So,
here for 20 minutes.
the reason
but
I
yeah,
made it,
the rest of us have been there a while.
the reason I made it tonight is because I crawled into bed and Maggie goes, "Hey, aren't you supposed to do a podcast thing tonight?" I was like, "Oh,
See, you guys didn't have Maggie. That was
Yeah.
it.
I was on time.
And that was literally half an hour before that. I swallowed half a bottle of NyQuil and took some expectorants.
NyQuil. I actually make a really good salmon NyQuil dip. If you guys are ever in or around the Charlotte area, let me know and I'll have you over for it.
Is it cherry or licorice?
That's
It's the green one, dude. Come on. What's
So
wrong?
what
gray.
is the
Starts with the
color
gray.
when you mix pink salmon and green?
it's kind of a greenish
Well,
blue.
listen, if
It's
you
a
know,
weird
if,
color.
if you ever
like the
if
color
you
you
ever
hope you
accept
never
my
throw up.
invite and come over, you'll know.
Well,
Listen,
anyway,
the
boys.
really good culinary people like myself, we're able to keep the green and the pink separate. So there's, they don't blend together.
Uh-huh.
Well, Izzy, I thank you very much for
Yes,
joining
sir.
us.
Thank
Appreciate
you for
it very
having me.
much.
This was a
See?
lot of fun. I really
All right,
enjoyed
Izzy.
being
Hey,
back in
Izzy.
the room.
Just like before, Sunday at 9, we're going to be recording.
All right.
So we'll see. Hey, we'll see you at 10:30.
Which Sunday? which Sunday is that? What day of the week?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah, we'll see you at
These
10:30.
shows
Tomorrow,
were-
right?
those were
That's
Mike.
tomorrow.
How funny is it going to be when Izzy jumps out and all of a sudden Joel's audio is right?
That would be awesome. All right, you guys. On
Izzy,
that
feel
note,
better, brother.
Thanks,
It's good
Izzy.
seeing
See
you.
ya.
thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. Boys, it was really nice to see you again.
I love you,
You all
brother.
have a wonderful
Always a
evening.
pleasure.
You too, man.
Too, man.
Bye, everybody.
See you.
Wait, Joel, say something.
No,
It's working!
No, it's not working.
It's totally working. Yes.
So I have a funny
It's
Izzy
not
Izzy
working.
story. I think no. Jesus Christ. So, I'm in
He
that.
gets to swear. I'm so much funnier.
That's not a swear. That's a
Well, he was just calling, and it really doesn't get picked up very well. I love
It's
it.
true. You can swear as long as it's got the skip. Is that why you're doing that, Joel? You got the filter?
Is it still?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
It hasn't been skipping
with
the whole time. Because you were late, we said that we were going to tell you it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
times.
Your audio has been perfect the entire time.
It's
we
just been more
messaged
fun this
Wim
way.
and said, "Hey, Wim, pretend as the audio is skipping and make comments about it." And he's like, "Got it."
He's done a great
So-
job.
So I actually have a funny story, and weirdly enough, I was going to say it. He texted me. He said, "Hey, this is Izzy. This is my new number." And I saw like 2 minutes later, and so I called him back. He says, "I got you." So I call him. He doesn't answer.
So it is his new number.
Yeah, it is his new number.
Well, so
Nothing. He
I
didn't
feel-
text me back or anything. It was like I got one. I tried calling him back, and then nothing. I'm like, oh well, obviously this is his new number. I'll reach the old one.
Well, yeah, I've been texting him on the old number for a while, and he hasn't answered because I'm, hey, you doing all right? You need anything? And because he's had COVID for a minute, and he hasn't responded. And there's somebody right now somewhere going, "Who the hell is Izzy?"
Who is this?
And
guy?
that would be the
Why is
worst
he so
phone
needy?
number to get. He gave everybody.
Yeah, I'm not important. It's okay.
Yeah.
So
I
what do you
didn't
guys up to? You got that studio with your sound room in back there?
get it. Yeah, we got the thing.
Engineer hidden back there, Mike.
Yeah, we got the thing going on.
I this all came about because I did CA glue.
That's right.
Right? Like I'm my buddy Richard is like, hey, we're running low on CA glue. Do you mind whip them up? And I'm like, sure. And so I'm like Chris, Mike, and anybody, do you guys stuff to me anymore? And you're both like, you know what? You're really small fry, but I'll sell you some anyway. And so
Are they charging you yet for that stuff? Because I don't.
Oh
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure that
they
Mike didn't
just
know we were
had-
off the air.
They just had to up my account because I refused to pay them.
Yeah, I don't think Mike knew that we were off the air because I still get checks from those guys. I don't know if they come to you or not.
Yeah, I got smart one day and was like, why am I paying a monthly subscription to the maybe I said too much podcast? I need to do it per creation. Checks were
Yeah,
still
let me just
rolling
text
in.
those. Let me just send those checks to Mike.
Yeah, we do have a Patreon, and I haven't checked 2 years. I don't.
There might be like
Never mind.
$6,000 in there.
Oh,
I
get
don't
yourself
know.
a
How
new
great would
microphone.
that be?
Hold on, let me look.
By the way, Joel, that's in your name only. So like, you'd take that money, and the rest of us would never know.
Yeah, actually, for Nick who asked if it was a green screen, it is, because you don't want to see what's behind it. I used to do it without one. So if you go back to early episodes, someone said it looked like I was the
You're on
UFO.
episode 27. How much
Yeah,
earlier are there?
Well, like one.
If you go to episode 3,
Yeah.
way back.
Not everyone can
4
have
months ago.
129 episodes.
Trust me, this didn't start clean. This was man, it was pretty rough there for the first few episodes.
He's looking at his
I
post-it
listened to
note
the
now.
first couple because Mike had told me that you guys had one, and I listened to the first few, and then work got to be work, and I just haven't had free time. So
Yeah,
They
you
said,
got to
"Hey, it's not
skip
bad."
to like 10 or 12 or something.
I
Yeah,
mean, then
yeah.
you're done at that point. So I got an hour of listening. Is that basically what you? But
You know, I'll have to say this one so far has been the most fun. The most eye-opening one though was last week's with Jess Crow. That
the epoxy chick.
Yeah, that seriously blew my mind. The stuff she had to say about being a female YouTuber and the amount of just trash she gets. It's crazy.
We had that. I mean, not to steal your thunder, we had that conversation with April Wilkinson about 3.5 years ago. So if you want to go back and listen to that,
Oh yeah, absolutely, I will.
I'm just.
Well, we can have that conversation with her. Just send her our way. We'll have a chat
Yeah.
about
Well,
it. Yeah.
okay.
You
I'll
should
reach
talk-
out.
Talk about
should
the
revisit it.
CNC she's got in her shop.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know what it's like to be a woman anyway. It's got to suck because guys are, guys. So
Mhm.
that's especially on YouTube. Like YouTube is basically where all good things go to die. So I can't even. It's got to be awful. Can you imagine?
No,
I can't imagine.
no, because some of just the ridiculousness that guys can present themselves kind of blew my mind.
Well, even forget that. Like epoxy's kind of like frowned upon by a certain percentage of people anyway. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Yeah.
you're a female who specializes in a thing that's, not really considered a trade by a lot of people anyway. And you're just,
Yeah.
I mean, that's. But listen, do the thing that you like. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like that's. You're alive for a little while and dead for a really long time. Like you're gonna do things for other people. Like that's ridiculous. Like. Do the thing that makes you the happiest, and if people like it, they like it. People that don't. If you're a successful YouTuber, enough people like it, right? So
Right.
There's
Yeah,
a
well-
there's a weird it's a double-edged sword because you're both you're an oddity or rarity in a kind of masculine dominated field, and so you are in itself kind of a spectacle. And you have somebody like April or any other women make out there that are pulling tapes and using chop saws and doing all the things that traditionally and overwhelmingly are male dominated, for better or for worse, or just because.
Yeah.
So you also have a lot of, I don't know. I understand men that don't like that aspect or feel like it's their job to tell how to do it differently. I understand that part of it. They have to deal with that a lot more than men do, or at least they have to deal with it in a completely different way than men have to deal with it. So it's a very it's a very interesting thing because it's also a draw. Like I said, that's a double-edged. It's a draw that brings them viewership. There's no denying that women, being a woman in this in creator context, brings you views that if you were a man doing thing you wouldn't get.
Yeah.
But it also brings haters out. It brings people who think that because you're a woman, you're not doing it the right way. So it's like I said, there's both plus minus to it. Everything is kind of cyclical but there are definitely channels that very much lean into feminine side of things, and use that to introduce people to themselves, or to get that viewership that they wouldn't necessarily had of being men, which I'm fine with saying that's a cheat or anything. I'm just saying it is a fact. People watch women do things that women traditionally don't do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little blasé these days. We do have women doing those things, and over time you will probably see that aspect of disappear. I think those views that are there because they're woman are going to evaporate eventually, because there'll be enough in it. It'll be one place.
Yeah.
I
Makes
actually
sense.
don't think that's ever going to be the case. Honestly, I think that this is, and not to, I don't want the Twitter rage coming at me, but I think that the space that is occupied primarily by makers is primarily a male spot. Like that's particularly the people that are the most successful in YouTube. And I'm speaking in generalizations, and it's kind of gross, but I don't know that you're ever going to see where it becomes an equal playing field, because I'll be dead by the time it does. I think that if that ever happens, YouTube won't be the technology to just be pumped straight into your brain. Just because the delta for that is so wide. When you look at the maker space these days, and it's not that women are excluded, it's just women choose other paths for the most part. People like her and April and these other women that do this stuff and are kind of really drawn into it. It's just not the same draw to them as it is to dudes. Like it feels like a masculine thing to do, and for women that do it, it seems, I don't want to say it seems odd, but they're outliers to the sport.
So there's a flip
Not
side
for
to
any
this.
reason that's good, by the way. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with that. It's just an observation. I think that when women do maker style stuff, most of the people that I watch that I think are the most interesting on YouTube, are people I've been watching for a while, and then also a lot of the women makers, because their perspective on things are different than mine, because they just approach things differently. So I get an opportunity to see things in a way I wouldn't otherwise see them. And there's a lot of learning that can take place in there, because, when I watch guys with similar backgrounds do things, it's just the way I do them. There's nothing, I don't have any, and listen, there's only so many ways you can use a table saw, but the methodologies and the mentality of the way they approach things is just different between men and women. And there's a lot to be learned in that, but I don't share your optimism that it's going to be an even playing field at any point soon, because we started a podcast 5 years ago, and it's that landscape has barely changed. And I don't know that, and we've been through a lot of wokeness at this point, right? So I don't know that's going to be anytime soon, but I don't think it's because anybody's forcing anyone out. I think it's just that, generally this isn't a field that typically attracts females. And again, that's gross to say, but I just, that's a generalization, but, and the women that do it excel at it because, not
They have a
necessarily,
niche. There is
they're different in the marketplace. And it's not just because, I know a lot of guys, oh, look, cute chick, cutting, but that's such a small percentage of people.
Well, like there is a flip side of this, which is, who's popular in cooking? Men. There are a lot of good cooking shows that are male based, and they get a bigger viewership than females cooking.
I think Julia Childs would disagree with you.
I'm saying in
She
the
hadn't been
world,
dead for 20
I'm saying
years.
that, well, right. I'm saying the world of YouTube. You think of the big cooking shows that are out there. They're almost all
Well, part of the problem is with
dominated.
YouTube, the viewership is male dominated. That's 80% of the people that watch YouTube are males. That's just the way it is, so it's like, and most of them are younger and stupid, and hey bro, like that, it's just kind of so. I'm always happy to see that sort of diversity, because I think a diversity of ideas is better. and not because that's the thing you're supposed to say. It's just, I mean, Mike and I have talked about, sort of when it comes to like different beliefs about things. I've always said, like, I don't believe what you believe, but I'm glad you believe what you believe. Because if we all thought the same way, this would be a real boring place, right? And I've had that mentality as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And I've had this conversation. I mean, when did we first have that conversation, Mike? Probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Off always.
Yeah, and I absolutely believe it. It's not something you say just to say it. It's like that. The difference in mentality is just, there's a lot to be learned in the nuance, and people that pay attention and see the little things that make up big differences. I think there's a lot to glean from that, and that's I never want everybody to think like me. I don't know anybody that thinks like me. Like,
If it's any consolation, we don't either.
yeah, so I don't, I don't necessarily, but I don't. If everybody thought like, man, what a boring place the world would be. Like, I don't,
Right.
there's only so much I can know and do. Like, I want to be able to look at other people that do other things, and I want to be able to look at people that do the things I do and do them differently. Like, there's so much to know there. Like, why'd you do this that way? Oh yeah, that's better. Like, why am I doing it that way? Like, there's just, it makes the world a cooler place. Like, why does Mike change his background midway through the podcast? Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't do that. My background's been the same for 100 and something episodes. Like, that's just, I even have the same curtain like this.
I like this one.
I don't.
It's this one. There we go.
But maybe what he's doing is better. Like, I don't know.
Hey.
Like, that's just, I don't know. Like, maybe having a stutter when you talk, electronically.
I think background is a stutter.
It is.
Better.
This one you guys will actually appreciate, because Coleman had made a comment about us when we do lives for Klingspor that we never showed enough of the banner in the background.
So you just did all.
I just plastered the crap out of it just for giggles.
Yeah, but Coleman disagreed with almost all of my marketing ideas, and let's be honest. I mean, had it not been for us in this podcast, I mean, you guys became a much bigger
nobody
part of our community than you would have been otherwise. Had it not been for, I mean, Unicorn Meat propelled you to places that you wouldn't have been otherwise.
Oh, now you say that.
Speaking of which, Mike, can you go ahead and tell them the address, website?
To maybe I said too much.com?
No, to Klingsport.
Oh no, because it's not sponsored by Klingsport.
No, I know, but I want Laffey to tell what the address is to the website.
Wait, I don't know what you're asking. I'm confused now.
So there was a point where we could remember the address URL.
Oh yeah, for woodworkingshop.com.
Right. And Mike would like, it's thewoodworkingshop.com. I'm like, that's not it at all. He says klingsport.com. Like that's not it. And it was just a very, very common.
It was a lot of back and forth. There were probably 4 or 5 episodes of the podcast where you're like, is it really woodworkingshop.com? It can't be that easy. You're like, no, it's got to be Klingspor.
Yeah.
I do want to look at this.
But people remembered it a lot more because I fumbled it all the time than if I just said it. So
and it drove him nuts. Absolutely bonkers. I'm like, he knows what he's doing. Like, leave it.
Yeah, listen, hey, I'm talking to a group of goofballs that spend a lot of time in their garage with wood shavings all over the place. This is how they understand it. Like, you just got to let me do this. You wouldn't have thought of Unicorn Meat. Like, you just wouldn't have.
Unicorn Meat, so you know, was used last year for 380 times. And you weren't even on the podcast. 380 times it was used.
I mean, that's why the checks still come. I mean, well, for me,
for
Joel,
you,
I don't know about
I don't know. Crap.
So are you guys, since we're in the midnight hour here, we're about to close up, are you guys going to do another podcast of some sort here soon?
Now, listen, I will tell you this.
I will tell you this.
That was perfect.
I'm going to pee all over myself. I can't.
I'm going to get back to this. There's going to be a podcast, whether it involves other people or not. I don't know.
I mean, if you do a podcast without me, that's not a podcast. That's just, that's you stuttering into a microphone at that point. So that's
first of all, I haven't this many laughs in a very long time. I'm going with it.
So I have a request.
Meat still works.
Listen, when we end this show, I have a request. Joel just has to say bye, and it'll sound just like a boy band. Bye, bye, bye.
Oh God.
Well, he's gonna say bye once, and it's gonna play for 13 minutes. So you can just get it.
Oh, it's perfect. I really want to
Oh.
find. I don't want you to change your setup because I really want to find something for you to narrate with the stutter.
Yeah. By the way, Brad, I just figured out how to turn on the comments so I can see you saying that. I'm not humble, and I'm not going to be humble. So I don't even apologize.
Yeah, he doesn't. I'm not even sure how he's saying the word.
No, it's
like holy water to a vampire.
Yeah, it's not my thing. It's not.
You know, I met those people you were talking about earlier that came up to you and said, "Oh, you're Laffey, blah blah blah." I met those people after
They
they
were
met
all
you.
institutionalized.
Man, they were walking away like, I can't believe I built him up so much, and this is Laffey. I mean,
First of all, by the way, I told everybody that in like the 3 episodes before that, like if you plan to come out and see me, you're going to be grossly disappointed when that happens because I'm as boring as they come, and people still showed up. So that's on them. I got,
Got a point.
I did that. I was trying to be fair to those people. Like if you're going to drive any distance more than 7 minutes, you're probably wasting your time.
I'm familiar. I'm used to letting people down. So that's just the nature of our business.
Listen, it's not that he's boring or that he lets people down.
I'm not boring.
If you ask him how he's doing, that will be the whole conversation.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. You know when I started great? When I'm boring.
Listen, if you ask me how I'm doing, I'm going to tell you about me. And if you ask me how you're doing, I'm going to tell you about me. So I know who I am, and I'm comfortable with it.
That's what
you
makes
have
all
to
the
be.
difference.
So yeah, are we going to be doing another podcast? I don't know. Is the question. Joel and I have been kicking the idea around for a while. After tonight, I don't know how we pull it off. Honestly, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to know that this technology has come this far because it didn't work before.
Is that a Rode mic?
Mine?
Mine?
Oh no, Joel's. Yeah.
Oh no, this is a $300 gaming headset. So hopefully it doesn't.
It's a.
Nah, that's that sweet Chinesium right there. That thing.
It's based of an AKG, but it is a sweet Chinesium.
Okay, because I was going to say I was going to make a little graphic that said in tonight's episode and laughs were brought to you by. Just because, I haven't laughed so hard in a long time. I had this all set up. I wanted to do slideys. Figured we could put that in there, but the microphone took the entire bit, everything away. I loved it.
Glad I could help.
Oh my gosh! When you hear the playback, you're gonna.
You have to. I mean,
Gold.
you were only on the show for 9 minutes, so it's not like you got to spend a lot of time with it. But
yeah, I'm glad we could make up that time that you weren't here. I thought it was funny. The one guy who didn't guarantee he would be here got here before Joel did.
Hey, do this. When you start the podcast, just wait till the point when I stop talking. That's about when you showed up. So that.
I usually he'd do the intro, and then
I did the intro. You missed it.
He forgot to let anybody else talk. So it was like the intro was about 45 minutes, an hour long.
By the way, I listened to a couple of our most recent shows, and none of that is true. But listen, if you want to, just like the cheese balls to the neck, if you want to continue to hurt me, you go right ahead. So.
This is what you get for the cheese ball, is the microphone abuse.
Definitely no way to hurt you.
No, there really isn't. So
he pulls out the oh, poor Mike the whole time in his
head. I never do that.
Oh,
I do.
Easy.
No, I do the you're a real jerk. It's not about poor me, it's about what a terrible person you are. And that's different somehow. Oh my god, is Joel frozen right now? Oh damn it. Sorry.
He does get still though, and
that would have been perfect if he was just like if he has the show like this.
End it, yeah.
I'm lying. Am I stuttering the whole time while I'm doing this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. Glad to hear it.
It's fantastic.
Anyway, at a certain point, it gets up with you guys and drops out your back audio. So I have to
the
go
rest
and
of us are
reset it
fine.
every time. Of course they are.
The rest of us are
Okay.
completely fine. You're
And
the
I've
problem.
tried changing your mic settings several times to different things, and
No, it's
it
just it's all me.
Nice.
Have you ever listened to a record while you were driving down the road?
No,
On
not
a-
a road. In a bean field.
Yes.
That's-
Well, it was a dirt road.
Do you want me? Does this help if I switch microphones?
oh my god!
what?
You could have done that the whole time.
Wait a minute. So really, like that's the thing?
Yeah.
Son of a.
I can't. Get Izzy back. Wake him up. We need to start over.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Is it sound like crap right now?
Nope,
No.
it's perfect.
What button did you just hit?
Hold on. Does it sound like crap now?
No,
No.
I don't know, man. Weird.
Well,
So
and that's all we've got
I'm
for the
back
show
on-
tonight. We appreciate you guys coming by.
All right. Hey, Mike, play the intro again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
this time Joel will be on time and with a clean microphone.
Exactly. We can just hey.
Christ. All I had to do was reset.
Nope,
that
it's back.
Oh,
You're
it's back.
stuttering
What'd you
again.
do?
Oh, stop it. God.
It's back.
This
Seriously, what did you push the first
is
time?
my favorite 2 hours I've ever spent doing anything.
Is it fine now?
Yes, try
It's
keep
hard
talking.
to know.
Well, it's okay. So all I have to do is reset this every 30 seconds.
Yeah, now it's going back out. It's crazy.
So now I'm fine. And now I'm back and fine. And I've got another 15 seconds. Quick, somebody stop.
I
So,
do have a
Mike, how are you?
Yeah.
How have you been?
Oh, it's too much.
So here's the question, because it's a cordial mic. Is it backwards?
No.
Okay.
I do know which way to aim the microphone. It's the compression that's on these particular settings, and I'm using an older computer, and it's probably just not keeping up. Do I Daffy Duck again?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I love this. I love
Everybody,
this
hey, have
so
a
much.
fantastic night.
Oh,
Joel, I appreciate you
been
coming.
pleasuring you.
Oh,
It's
I
not
felt
every
so
night
good.
you get to hear that comment.
right.
Right.
I'll take it.
by the way, I just want to say I made an hour and 47 minutes with a single cuss word.
I know, and I'm trying to hit the button now because
A
I don't want to
record.
ruin a good thing.
Oh, he's just gonna lay it out too.
Yeah, as soon as I hit in broadcast,
As
he's
soon
gonna
as
let
we're
him.
done here, I'm gonna go scream
It's
into my
gonna be
pillow.
like the Chris story when he pops the nuts out of the bowl of the hubcap and like a string.
What I said wasn't fudge.
Yeah.
It was the
You know, here's what we'll do. We'll just go ahead and end it with Laffey cussing.
There you go.
no.
Just
I'm
let
not,
it. Just let it
nope,
all out.
Not doing it.
He's gonna edit this right out. He's just
That's
gonna
what
hit the mute
restraint
button.
looks like, gentlemen, right here. No,
He said he's made it this far. He's going out like a professional.
I'm doing it.
Yes, it is the direct Daffy Duck switch. That's a good way to
I don't
put
know.
it.
I'm glad that I could entertain.
I'm glad
We
that you
are
could entertain us through it well.
That's how we got to an hour and 48 minutes.
Listen, at a certain point when you don't have anything to say, you can just do stick all night.
Hey, just double your words.
Well, and thanks for joining the podcast where Joel
Hey,
has
guys.
said everything 17 times.
Hey, if you guys want to hear the 3 sentences that Joel added, feel free to rewind.
Go to the subtitles.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be great. My stomach hurts from laughing. You're not joking.
This was fantastic. Thanks, guys. Can we be on again? Or
Absolutely.
all right. I'll see you next
do you
Wednesday.
do you close in this?
Yeah.
Do you have many like that you keep out for me?
You'll have to try that again. What?
Are you having a seizure? Hey, Blink.
No, I'm
we
just
need to call the
Do
ambulance.
you smell
Like,
toast?
how are you gonna close caption the stutter? Like, are you do like?
He's leaving it in. This isn't getting
Right.
edited.
I'm
We've
just saying.
been
I'm
talking
I don't
about
have
the
that
whole
much
time.
free time to edit that out.
Yeah, you got to
Good
close
gracious.
caption everything I've said. I want it grammatical too.
Actually, I'll send you a transcript and you go ahead and just re-say everything.
Mike's gonna upload this to YouTube and hit the auto caption, and YouTube's gonna go down for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like, the whole site's gonna fail. It's gonna be
Sorry,
fantastic.
everybody. Blame Joel.
It's good.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's going to come back with a recommendation. Please see a speech pathologist.
I normally wait till late in the afternoon to replay this. And I think this is going on my list first thing in the morning when I
I'm
get
going to
in.
listen to this as soon as we hang
I'm
up.
gonna punch it in and just listen while I work. It's gonna be great.
Oh my goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
It's not that bad because it actually like
No.
overdubs itself on top of itself. It's insane.
It's fantastic.
I'm gonna
glad
have
it
to go
was
find this
this way.
effect.
That effect doesn't exist. You can't replicate that on purpose.
No, it's just this switch that only works for 30 seconds.
It's only available on Windows 98.
ME.
If you were having a seizure and you had a button, maybe you could get close, but that's all. So, by the way, I like your background now. It's very sexy.
It's the same it's always been.
It better
Well,
be.
gentlemen, are we going to call it for the evening? Or do
We're
I
calling it for
stutter
the
this
evening.
out?
I don't think we could do more damage, but I feel bad that people have had to wait so long to hear this train wreck, and we gave them exactly what they expected. So,
By the way, I watched. Speaking of MC on the I watched the Beastie Boys documentary that
How
they
was
did
it?
the live performance on Apple TV. I don't know if it's HBO or anybody else, but it's amazing. Like if you like Beastie Boys, it's amazing.
So what you want? You should do that because
You
it
should
would
do
work
that. You should do that.
Yeah. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, get ready.
He wins. He wins.
Well,
You
that'll do it
SOB.
for tonight's episode as Joel has just trolled us all.
Oh, I love that, man.
Oh,
Absolutely.
This has been fantastic.
Oh, my sides hurt.
It's been something.
My
hope I
wife's
didn't wake the
asleep. I'm
kids.
trying my best not just belly roll here. And
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, so we won't be asked back on.
Oh,
It's
That's
okay.
great.
You'll be asked back on. It'll be fun.
I can't.
I did it.
You better ask me on.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
we're
give
gonna,
that man more credit.
I'm gonna ask you off.
we thought you left. That's the best part.
Hoped.
Yeah, I know. No, I just did that just for effect.
That was
It was
that was
perfect.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't.
well, I
You
mean,
have
at
brought me
least
more joy tonight than I've experienced since they announced the pandemic. So,
what you should have done is kind of had a flicker off. That would have mimicked your audio.
Like
Flicker the
hold,
light.
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold on.
get the light.
I can do that.
don't do that. You're gonna have a seizure, and we're gonna have to send the cops to get you.
No, that's going to be the intro video right there for the next week. We don't have
Right.
a podcast where we have to take a break or something. It's going to be just Joel doing that.
Remember the episode that this happened?
Yeah.
This is at least 2 of your shows. You could play this at any point. So
I'm just going to make it a quarter.
that's I dig that. All right, guys.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
Do you guys have a website or anything you want to promote?
Not at this time. We only do if Joel's going to say it.
Go to
Go to what
Yeah. How many W's are in whatnot?
all of them.
all
Okay.
of them.
Don't forget the www.
Please don't ask Joel to do that. I'll have a seizure.
So what happens if I prolong like a vowel? Like if I go
This show is never gonna end.
so if I like like
I have tears coming out of my
good
face.
night.
It's good. Okay, I am gonna ask you to say one thing for the guy that we don't have sponsoring us, but we really enjoy always mentioning him. If you can say, check out learnyourcnc.com.
Please don't.
Learnyourcnc.com.
Perfect.
Okay, hold on. No. We got.
Oh.
That's take one.
Oh.
I gotta.
Yeah, because Kyle is he's been since day one, and so we just always throw a shout out to him. But yeah,
Is that like
Learn-
Jimmy Kimmel when he says, "Sorry, Matt Damon, we couldn't get you on tonight."
yeah.
Learnyourcnc.com.
.com. Now, what did you do to make it that echoey?
He's got
I
a
have-
button.
I have a whole board.
I'm
Wait,
telling
what?
you, he's got $6,000 worth of audio equipment.
$6,000 worth of stutter.
Testing 1 2 2.
The most.
I got that. I got that.
You've seen it. We had to set
Leader.
it up at your show. The
Oh, that's
giant
right.
box of stuff.
Test 1. Test 1 2. I even got delays and things.
Well, that's natural.
That's
Yeah.
happening on its own. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, good night, gentlemen. It's
Good
been
night.
something, and I will talk to y'all later.
Thank you so much, Joel. Appreciate you coming.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.
Good night,
Laffey.
Laffey. Good night, everybody watching. Appreciate
We'll
you being here.
see you next week. Who knows what's
Laffey.
going to happen next week?
Stop giggling.
I can't.
Wait. Actually, I had something for you. Hold on.
Uh-oh. This show really is never going to end.
Oh, damn.
You listen. You show up 30 minutes late
He's gone.
with
Oh my
with the
gosh.
terrible audio, and I get the finger.
Yep.
Are you serious right now? There's no justice in the world. There is no.
You'll never top that either. Both
no,
the
I will.
audio and the finger drop. So
I will. It's going to happen. I dedicate my life to it.
oh my gosh, that was fantastic.
Thank you for
All right,
coming.
guys.
We appreciate you being here.
I
2
don't
episodes
appreciate
worth.
being here.
Appreciate you
We'll
wasting
have the
your time
Joel
with us.
episode and we'll have the non-Joel episode.
We'll
All
call
right,
you
well-
the pre-Joel.
Yeah.
Please don't do that. That's going to
We're
stick.
the pre
I don't need
Joel.
that. I don't.
Is that
I
on
don't
your
need
list?
that. I don't need that in my life.
Laffey, thank you, sir. Appreciate you
Appreciate
being
it.
here.
It's good seeing you again.
Yeah, it was.
All right, boys. Fantastic time.
Have a good night. Later, everybody. Thank you.